हाय फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू जैनास चैनल। आज मैंने सोचा कि आई विल स्टार्ट विद ग्रेड 7 चैप्टर 8 18th सेंचुरी पॉलिटिकल फॉर्मेशन। अब आपको मैं क्विक रिव्यू इस चैप्टर के बारे में देना चाहती हूँ। यहाँ पे यू कैन सी द डॉट 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 लाइन वाला जो पॉलिटिकल मैप है। ये पूरे जो डॉट डॉट के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ, ये पूरा मैप पे जहाँ जहाँ डॉटेड है वो एक्सटर्नल बाउंड्रीज है मुगल्स एम्परर की। कैन यू सी हियर? यस। अब ये जो चैप्टर है, ये चैप्टर हमें बहुत कुछ समझाता है। बहुत सारी चीजें जो इस चैप्टर में नहीं है, बट आई लाइक टू शेयर विथ यू ऑल। सो लेट्स बिगिन। ये चैप्टर हमें 18th सेंचुरी के बारे में, लेकिन एक स्पेसिफिक चीज बता रहा है कि हियर वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट द पॉलिटिकल फॉर्मेशन। पॉलिटिकल फॉर्मेशन इन द सेंस जहाँ पे बहुत सारे पॉलिटिकल कंडीशंस चेंज होगी। बहुत सारी पॉलिटिकल अलग अलग किस्म से डायनेस्टीज जो एम्परर है वो सब क्रिएट होंगे। जैसे यहाँ पे ज़्यादातर जिक्र किया गया है राजपूत, सिख, मराठास के बारे में। एंड वी विल कम टू नो अबाउट लॉट्स ऑफ थिंग्स। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। सबसे पहले, द पॉलिटिकल कंडीशन मैसिवली चेंज द फेस ऑफ इंडिया इन रिलेटिवली short period during the 18th century. The Mughal Empire started to decline due to several reasons like weak and insufficient rulers after औरंगजेब। मतलब मैं आपसे बात कर रही हूँ जो औरंगजेब died in 1707 till the third battle of Panipat in 1761. So year after him, this led to control of Rajput, Sikh, Marathas over states like Rajasthan, Punjab, Gujarat, etc. The Jats also consolidated their power. Here we will talk about the crisis कि ऐसी क्या वजह थी कि इतनी सारी क्राइसिस आ गई. So let's start. The crisis in Mughal Empire and the later Mughals. At the end of 17th century, where right now I just marked it. So now we are on the crisis. At the end of 17th century, the Mughal Empire started facing a variety of crises. Okay. By fighting a long war in a Deccan, under his successor, the efficiency of the administration broke down. The office of revenue and military administration, जिसे कहते थे दीवानी और फौजदारी, were mostly controlled by the noble appointed as a governor. Governor means Subedar, I'm talking to you about. This gave them extraordinary political, economic, and military powers over vast region of the Mughal Empire. As governor gained more control over province, the revenue reaching to the capital decreased. Automatically ये तो होना ही था. अगर मिडिल मैन आके रेवेन्यू ले रहा है तो फिर ऑफ कोर्स वो मेन पर्सन तक तो पहुंचेगा ही नहीं. नाउ हियर आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू अबाउट peasant and zamindars. In many parts of northern and the western India, there were rebellion of the peasants and zamindars. Though these revolts were sometimes caused due to the increasing taxes, while sometimes the powerful chieftain rebels to strengthen their own position. वो तो होगा ही. अगर जो नीचे लोग हैं जो कम पोजीशन पे है तो वो तो आफ्टर दैट दे विल ट्राई टू डू ना, दे वांट द पोजीशन टू बी मोर पावरफुल. In many parts of these groups were able to capture the economic resources of the region to strengthen their position. The later Mughals. Now I'm talking to you about the later Mughals. The later Mughals were unable to stop the gradual transfer of power into the hands of provincial governors. local chieftain and other groups. Now I'll talk to you about important that was Nadir Shah. He belongs to Iran. The ruler of Iran, Nadir Shah, attacked Delhi in 1739 and looted vast wealth. It was followed by a series of invasions by 5 raids by the Afghan ruler Ahmad Shah Abdali, who invaded North India 5 times between 1748 to 1761. Great. The empire was further weakened by the competition amongst different groups of nobles. They were divided. Now, these people were divided into two parts, and that parts are Irani and Turanis. The later Mughal emperor were controlled by either of these two groups for a long time. The Mughal Emperor Farooq Siyar 1713 to 1719 and Alamgir II 1754 to 1759 were killed, and Ahmad Shah 1748 to 1754 and Shah Alam II 1759 to 1816 were blinded by their nobles. Means they were so much manipulated by them that they could not even see what is happening over here. Now, here with the decline, now I'm talking to you about the decline. With the decline in the authority of the Mughal emperor, the governor, Subedars, province, the great Zamindar consolidated, strengthened their position in different regions such as Awadh, Bengal and Hyderabad. मतलब वो क्या कर रहे थे, अपनी पोजीशन स्ट्रॉन्ग कर रहे थे. Now we'll talk about, can you see the picture over here? Here the Farooq Siyar receiving a Nobel in court, and you could see many Rajput rulers. Now I am talking to you about Rajput. Many Rajput kings, particularly kings of Amber and Jodhpur, had served under the Mughals. In exchange, they were given freedom to control their Watan Jagirs. Raja Ranjit, Raja Ajit of Jodhpur and Savai Raja Jai Singh of Amber were governor of Gujarat and Malwa respectively. Yes. These rulers tried to extend their control over nearby region. Ajit Singh conquered Nagaur while Jai Singh captured large part of Bundi. Savai Raja Jai Singh founded his new capital at Jaipur and was given the Subedari of Agra in 1722. So, year which I'm talking to you all. And however, their further expansion were prevented by the Maratha campaign into the Rajasthan from 1740. Put severe pressure on those principalities and check their further expansion. Chalo, I'll tell you one fact about many Rajput chieftains built a number of forts on hilltops, which became the center of power. With extensive fortifications, these last structures included urban centers, palaces, temples, trading centers, water harvesting structure, and other buildings. एग्जाम्पल की तरह से इफ यू सी चित्तौड़गढ़ फोर्ट कंटेन many water bodies varies from तालाब ponds जिसे कहते हैं to kundis well जिसे कहते हैं बाउलीज जिसे कहते हैं step wells etc. Isn't it great? They were so perfect about their work. Can you see over here the Chittorgarh Mahal which I was talking to you as an example? Fantastic. Over here, then we'll talk about Sikh. Before we start talking about Sikh, just see over here Raja Jai Singh of Jaipur, a description of Raja Jai Singh in a Persian account of 1732. Raja Jai Singh was a height of his power. He was the governor of Agra for 12 years and of Malwa for 5 to 6 years. He possessed a large army, artillery, and great wealth. His sway extended from Delhi to the bank of Narmada. Now, Savai Raja, the information are there over here. You can see even the Jantar Mandar, this observatory, and have a various instruments. And here the Jodhpur fort, right? Meherang. Now we'll talk about the seasoning independence. So first of all, Sikh. We'll talk about the Sikh something. During the 17th century, yes, during the 17th century, the Sikh were organized into a political community which helped in regional state building in the Punjab. Here, the more renowned name is Guru Guru Gobind Singh. Fought several battles against the Rajput and Mughals rulers before and after the institution of the Khalsa in 1699. Right? After his death in 1708, the Khalsa revolted against the Mughals under the leadership of Banda Bahadur and declared the independent rule in the name of Guru Nanak and Guru Gobind Singh. They established their own administration between the Satluj and Jamuna. Banda Bahadur was captured in 1715 and executed in 1716. Now, I'm talking to you. Can you see here the beautiful painting? It's the squad of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Here, the portrait of Shivaji is there. Let me talk to you about the 18th century. In 18th century, the Sikh organized themselves into Jat and missiles. Their combined forces were known as Great Grand Army, जिन्हें वो कहते थे दाल खालसा. They used to meet at Amritsar at the time of Baisakhi and Diwali to take collective actions called Resolution of Guru Matas, which you could see here. A system called Rakhi was introduced to protect cultivators on the payment of a tax of 20% of the produce. तो यहाँ पे हम जो बात कर रहे हैं हम राखी की बात कर रहे हैं. Guru Gobind Singh inspired Khalsa with the belief that their destiny was to rule. They were able to resist the Mughal governors and then to the Ahmad Shah Abdali, who had captured the province of Punjab and Sarkar of Sirhind from the Mughals. The Khalsa declared their independence rule again by striking their own coin. Isn't it great? They created their own coin in 1765. In late 18th century, the Sikh territories extended from the Indus to the Jamuna, but they were divided under different rulers. In 1799, Maharaja Ranjit Singh reunited these groups and established his capital at Lahore. Remember this point, children. Now I'm talking to you about the Marathas. So let's begin with Maratha. The Maratha kingdom was carved out by the Shivaji in 1627 to 1680 with the support of the powerful warrior families of the Deshmukhs. The groups of highly mobile peasants, patrolists, जिसे कहते थे Kunbis, were the backbone of Maratha army, which were used by Shivaji to challenge the Mughals. After Shivaji's death, the family of Chitpavan Brahmanas gained power, who were Shivaji's successor as Peshwa. Peshwa means I'm talking to you as a principal minister. Pune became the capital of Marathas. Under the Peshwa, the Marathas developed a very successful military organization. They were very strong about military. They were having a very good administration during that time. The Maratha जो empire था वो expand किया 1720 से 1761 के बीच में, जहाँ पे मालवा गुजरात were captured from Mughal by the 1720s. By the 1730, the Maratha king was recognized as the Marathas' overlord of the Deccan Peninsula. He had the right to leave Chauth and Sar Deshmukhi. In entire region, up Chauth is one third, which we know, 25%. After raiding Delhi, in 1737, the Marathas had built authority over Rajasthan and the Punjab in north, Bengal and Odisha in the east, Karnataka and Tamil in Telugu countries in south. These were not formally included in the Maratha Empire, but they were made to pay tribute to the empire. मतलब ऐसा नहीं था कि वो वहाँ पे पता चल रहा था, but it was not included like that, but they used to pay tax. By that we are aware of this thing. Uh, After the expansion of Marathas, brought enormous resources, but it made other rulers opposed to the Marathas. As a result, they did not support the Marathas during the Third Battle of Panipat. Yeah. Okay. Now administration under Marathas. चलो देखते हैं. Administration under Marathas में the Marathas developed an effective administrative system. The Maratha chief, जिसे कहते थे सरदार, like Sindhia of Gwalior, Gaikwad of Baroda, and Bhosle of Nagpur built powerful armies by the resources raised through revenue demand, encouraging agriculture and reviving trade. The cities like Ujjain and Sindhia and Indore under the Holkars functioned as important commercial and cultural centers. New trade routes emerged within the areas controlled by Marathas. The silk produced in Chanderi found a new outlet in Pune. The Maratha capital, Burhanpur, which was earlier involved in the trade between Agra and Surat, expanded to include the Pune and Nagpur in south and Lucknow and Allahabad in the east. Most Maratha cities were prosperous and important commercial centers. Now I like to talk about Jats. The Jat consolidated their power during the late 17th century only, until 18th century under the leadership of Churaman. Churaman leader. Yes. They acquired control over territories to the west of the cities and Delhi, and by the 1680s they dominated the region between the cities of Delhi and Agra. Now the Jats were prosperous agriculturists, and towns like Panipat and Balavaga became their important trading center. Yes. Under the Surajmal, the kingdom of Bharatpur emerged as a strong state. His son Jahar Singh hired soldiers from the Marathas and Sikh to fight against the Mughals. The Bharatpur fort was built by Surajmal in a traditional style. The Jats The Jat built a garden palace at Dig, combining the architectural styles of Amber and Agra. Its buildings were based on architectural form prevalent during Shah Jahan rule. So this is that 18th century. I hope that you understood the chapter. Let's begin with the mind map first of all, children. So for the mind map again, we will, yes, the mind map is 18th century political formation. तो पहला है हमारे मुगल्स क्राइसिस किस तरह से आई थी, एम्परर औरंगजेब के बाद क्या हुआ था, उनकी डेथ के बाद किस तरह से नादिर शाह ने अटैक किया दिल्ली पे, अहमद शाह अब्दाली ने इन्वेड किया नॉर्थ इंडिया को। उसके बाद फिर हम बात करेंगे राजपूत के बारे में, जहाँ पे वतन जागीर के बारे में मैंने आपको बताया, राजा अजीत सिंह जोधपुर और सवाई राजा जय सिंह अंबर के बारे में मैंने आपको बताया, किस तरह से उन्होंने गुजरात और मालवा को बाद में कैप्चर किया। उसके बाद आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट सिख, जहाँ पे खालसा वॉज इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन 1699। गुरु गोबिंद सिंह के बारे में मैंने आपको बताया, खालसा रिवॉल्ट जिसमें बंदा बहादुर के बारे में आई टोल्ड यू, 18th सेंचुरी के बारे में बताया। फिर महाराजा रंजीत सिंह एस्टैब्लिश कैपिटल ऑफ लाहौर इन 1799, इसके बारे में मैंने बताया आपको। देन वी विल गो टू मराठास, तो मराठास के बारे में बताया किस तरह से शिवाजी ने, छत्रपति शिवाजी ने किस तरह से वो किया, उनकी डेथ के बाद पेशवा एस्टैब्लिश पूना कैसे उनका कैपिटल बना, किस तरह से मराठा लीड चौथ और सरदेशमुखी एंटायर रीजन में, थर्ड बैटल ऑफ पानीपत के बारे में जो मैंने बताया 1761 में। देन आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट जाट्स, जैसे उनका कंसोलिडेटेड पावर किस तरह से 17 और 18 सेंचुरी में किया, चूरामन जो कंट्रोल कर रहे थे, और किस तरह से दिल्ली और आगरा सिटीज को उन्होंने डोमिनेट किया, और सूरजमल एट द एंड कैसे स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टेट उभर के आए। सो आई होप that you update and upgrade, and I hope the history you might be understanding nicely. Till that, bye.